Hello, and thank you for joining us. My name is Gwen Gnazdowsky, and I'm from One Conversation, Coaching and Facilitation. Today, I'd like to share with you an effective communication skill. This 4-step template will help you introduce yourself powerfully and ask for what you want. I call it the magic template. The 4 steps are: Step 1, clarity. Know what you want. Step 2, motivation. Understanding your why. Step 3, differentiators. What makes you right for the job? And step 4, call to action. Making a request. So step 1 is clarity. I usually start by asking my clients, what is your dream job, your dream life? What would you do if you could do anything? I love Tony Robbins' quote, what would you do if you knew you could not fail? And it shouldn't come as any surprise. They often say, I don't know. But I've actually found out that deep down inside, they usually do know. It's just out of fear of failing, or that they stop believing in their dreams because they think it just can't happen. They just can't get there. This is where clarity comes in. Once you can clearly identify what it is that you want, you can take the steps to get there. If you need more training, education, experience, then we can figure that out. We can figure out exactly what you need to get where you want to go. So in this template, I invite you to write, what is your name? What do you do? And what do you want? For what I do, you might identify that you are a recent graduate, or identify yourself as your job title, or what you have been doing for the last number of years, or perhaps you're transitioning into a new career path. The next part of clarity, let's take into consideration your wants. And again, let's be as specific as possible. The more clarity in what it is that we're looking for and asking of people, so that they can get a clear sense of how they can help you. And they might get a clear sense of how you can help them as well. It's the universal hiring rule, bringing value as a solution to a problem that they may have. So to consider your wants, you might want a job as a fill in the blank in your organization, company, etc. You might want to know who is hiring. You may want an informational interview or an entry-level position, a volunteer practicum opportunity, apprenticeship, internship opportunities. You might want mentorship. You might want a position on a board or an introduction to someone, inclusion to a club or an association. No matter where you are in your career path, you can use this template. So myself, for example, when I just was starting out in my career in social work, I said, hello, my name is Gwen Gnazdowsky. I'm a recent graduate from Mount Royal University with a diploma in social services. I want to be a youth worker in your organization. As you can see, I was very clear in who I was and what I wanted and how I could help them. Take some time to decide what you would say. And you may use a different template for different audiences and or for different opportunities. You may have different approaches for different audiences and different asks. Write yours out. Practice it. Get some feedback on how it lands. Step 2 is the motivation and the why, how, and what. You may have heard of Simon Sinek. He's a business coach who introduced the concept called the golden circle. The why is the motivation, the how is the process, the what is the product. And to make this concept more clear, Simon Sinek uses the example of the Apple computer. Apple's why, motivation, is we believe in challenging the status quo and doing things differently. Apple's how, which is the process, is our products are beautifully designed and easy to use. Apple's what, the product, is we make computers. Simon Sinek also used Martin Luther King as an example, where his why was for equal rights, so that his children could be judged on their character and not on the color of their skin. His how was by being a writer, a speaker, a community builder, and rallying up marches. His what, or the product, was a civil rights leader. It helps to explain the importance and power of knowing your why. It's a purpose, a cause, or belief. It is the very reason you or an organization exists. It's what gets you out of bed in the morning. So let's apply this important concept to you. After all, you are the CEO of you. Just to flesh out the idea of the why, how, and what, if you can figure out your why you do what it is that you want to do, what motivates you, what speaks to you. Is it a talent, a passion, a gift, or an interest? We don't think about this too often, so let's think about it now. What is your motivation? Next, your how is the process of how you will achieve your why. Identify how you will be able to fulfill the position. This is a list of the skills and the tasks that you bring to the position. And then finally, what is the product or service that you provide? Think of it as the job position title. So for example, in my career beginning, I said that I'm committed to helping people, especially youth at risk, to get ahead in life and empowering them to believe in themselves. I provide counseling, teaching life skills, and facilitating recreation. I am a youth worker. Now it's your turn. Step 3, identify your differentiators. What makes you qualified for this job and makes you stand out from the others. This is your opportunity to mention your experience, your education, and your involvement. This could be within your specific area of interest or even volunteer work in the community. If you are young and just starting your career, you can talk about your high school involvement in clubs and activities. Even mention that you were part of a sports team. I'd suggest you limit it to 3 or 4 items to not overwhelm your listeners. At the beginning of my career, I said, just to reiterate, I'm a recent graduate in social services with an honors from Mount Royal University. I completed 2 practicums where I continue to be a volunteer. First, at the Distress Center Drug Center, which was crisis counseling on a suicide hotline and drop-in center. My second practicum was at the Rape Crisis Center, where I counseled and accompanied people to the hospitals with police and the courts. I did public speaking at hospitals and high schools and coordinated and trained the volunteers. Lastly, I've been a volunteer at the YMCA since the age of 14. I would help children in the gym with swimming and camping. Now it's your turn. Step 4, call to action. Ask for what you want. To come up with your call to action, look back at what you said that you wanted in the first section. If you stipulated that you wanted a job, perhaps you could say something like, can I bring you my resume? Do you know who's hiring? Do you have any entry-level positions available? May I have an informal interview with someone? Do you know of volunteer, internships, apprentice, internship opportunities? Can I show you my portfolio? This is where you get to be proactive. Studies have shown that most jobs aren't advertised, so develop your own network. If you're exploring a field of interest, then ask people if they know someone that you can talk to involved in that field. Perhaps a union office. Ask for the names of other people, 2 other peoples or companies that you could talk to. Build your network. Me, for example, early in my career, I followed up with, in my template, can I bring you my resume? I'm happy to say that I called my top 5 places that I would like to work. And basically, I gave them the script, as I've demonstrated here, shared with you in this template. All 5 of the places said, yes, you can bring us your resume. Out of those, I got 3 job interviews. Out of that, I was offered 2 jobs, and I gladly took the job that I wanted the most. So that is why I'm such an advocate for clarity, knowing what you want and going after it, instead of being 1 out of 500 applications for 1 job. So be clear and decide who you are, where you want to work, and what you want to do. Don't be shy to ask for that call to action. You have nothing to lose. So to wrap up, we've learned effective communication skills to introduce yourself powerfully and ask for what you want. The 4 points in the magic template are: 1. Have clarity. Give your name, what it is that you do, and what you want. Step 2, tell them your why, your motivation. Go on to the golden circle, why you want to do what it is you want to do, then share how you will do it, which is your process, your skills, your abilities. And then finally, your what, which is the service or job title. Step 3, differentiate yourself from others. This is where you talk about your education, your experience, and involvement with the community. Spell out where you studied. Name your certifications. Tell us where you worked and volunteered. What kind of roles did you have? Even how long you have been somewhere, which shows loyalty. And finally, step 4, your call to action. Ask for what you want to move the conversation forward. I would love to hear your powerful introductions and hear what you're asking for. If you would like some help with your template, in getting clarity, staying motivated, or on the course, feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to help you on your journey. Your comments, questions, and concerns are always welcome. And finally, I'd like to leave you with one of my favorite quotes. Go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Live the life you imagined. It was a pleasure to be with you today. See you soon.